Hello all. I want to thank all of you who have watched the videos, liked the videos, and even downloaded some of the Gerber files of these projects that I built. I want to show how we went from this, the thinking computer, to the computer brain. We started with the 6502 processor as the heart of the project. It's very well documented. You got the data lines here and the address lines going around the other side. 16 data lines to 16 LEDs with resistors on the other side. To access the opcodes, the internal opcodes of the CPU, we are programming it with the first 8 bits through the dip switches through here. Yeah. It was a real simple idea just because I've always wanted a sci-fi type blinking computer that blinks the LEDs like it's doing some type of operations. I created the board pretty big because I wasn't really sure how tight to make it. I made it very spacious so I can really make watch what I was doing on the traces, making sure these traces were functional and aesthetically pleasing. I like the way that these curved around. Yeah, these are going on the back side. Although I was told I went the wrong way, this is LED 1 going to 16, or data line 0 to 15. I should have gone right to left instead of left to right. But when we go from this to this, which is more of an array computer, it's the same basic schematic. Power in. Now I'm using a USB, micro USB port, but you still have the 5 or the switches that goes to the data lines and all the address lines going to LEDs. I just tripled the LEDs, changed the resistor value from 220 ohms to 51 ohms to adjust for the current of the LEDs, and redesign the board. Now, what makes the board a little bit more interesting is the arrangement of the LEDs. I really tried not to get LEDs flashing on the same row or column for the one data line. And in order to do that, I actually broke it up like a Sudoku puzzle. So naming the LEDs 1, 2, 3 this way, actually 1, 2, 3. So no, actually no, that's not right. Actually it was 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, and then I had to play Sudoku basically on a piece of paper to try to get the lights to be spaced correctly. And it worked. It worked pretty well. You got, why's that one on? All right, get that one out. There it goes. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's ground. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it was a pretty easy evolution from this single concept into something that looks a lot more complicated, but it really isn't, other than 2 more rows of lights. Thought maybe you guys might want to see how that worked, to go from the thinking computer to the computer brain with just a small modification to the original schematic. And another point I wanted to make, this array right here could be all surface mount LEDs, and you could use it for like the front panel of a desktop tower computer. Give your computer a little sci-fi aesthetic feel. And an idea that I had that I never went with because never continued on to with this project, but instead of using the 555 timer for the system clock of this, you could use the tachometer of your system fan of your desktop PC, since that runs on a pulse wave modulation to set the speed of the fan. If it's too fast in the kilohertz range, you can split up the timing by using something like a 10 decade counter chip. Let me see here. What is the decade counter? A DC 4017 or 74LS90 decade counter to split up the pulses from your CPU fan, not CPU, your case fan, to the clock, or actually to the decade counter to split up the signal into something more visible for the LEDs to actually be seen flashing. Too fast, it just looks like it's just going on constantly. Just something to think about. I do thank you, and if you have any comments or like to know anything else about any of the projects I've done and how I've come up with the ideas or implemented them into designs or code, let me know. I do appreciate you coming by and look.